Alright, so I'm making this video because I was talking to my friend yesterday and it had me thinking about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And my opinion is not popular opinion. Meaning everyone expects, because I'm a young, tatted up black male, everyone expects me to have this certain perspective. My perspective is, look at the Native Americans. My perspective is, yes, racism exists. Yes, black people couldn't learn until 200 years ago? We couldn't even go to school, right? So a lot of these things in our way prevented us from being ahead, right? From getting ahead. It prevented a lot of black males from getting out of the hood. A lot of black men live in the ghetto. Black women too, but a lot of black families, they live on welfare and food stamps, and I'm one of them. Now I don't get a welfare check, but without food stamps, at this point in my life, I would have been starved. But so I've been there, Section 8, all that shit, there, right? But it's no excuse. I think the main problem is that we want change, okay? You can't just scream at the top of your fucking lungs, I want change now, okay? So where are the steps to make this change? You can't, so for example, we can't just riot in the streets, because what the fuck is that doing? We think we're in charge. We're not. It doesn't matter what race you are. In a sense, if you are not part of the government, if you're not the ones in the Supreme Court, if you're then you're not in charge. Everything, if we want real change, it has to go through the court system. If we want real change, we have to start making bills, the Bill of Rights, and we need an Internet Bill of Rights. We need new things set up. But you can't get these new things set up if everyone's just screaming Black Lives Matter. I was riding my bike yesterday downtown, and downtown there's this roundabout with these statues and these fish on the statues, and there was a white guy standing there with a Black Lives Matter poster, basically holding it up so cars can see. And it made me think, why is there no black people out there? Right? And it made me think this weird shit where it's racism is this weird thing. Because, okay, so white person holding up Black Lives Matter thing, just so you can say that I'm on your side, is that person secretly racist because they're trying so hard to make it look like they're on our side? It's one of those situations where you have a racist guy and they're my sister's boyfriend's black, so, I can't be racist. It's one of those situations, right? My main problem with all this is I'm too fucking psychedelic for any of this shit. Okay, genuinely, honestly, I don't believe I'm a human being, let alone a black man. My dad is white, white. Irish, I'm pretty sure he has Jewish in him, maybe a little bit of German, I don't know, but he's white. My mom is black. So it's people look at me as a young black man, but in my head I understand I grew up on both sides. Half of my family is racist because they're the white side of the family, and all those old people on the white side of the family, they're kind of racist. I went to family reunions, where blood family of mine were racist towards me, calling me the N-word, and so what? My perspective on all this is different than everyone else's because I don't give a fuck about racism. I don't give a shit how much you doubt me. I'm going to make it regardless. Right now in my life, I'm more successful than some white people I know. It's because skin tone doesn't fucking matter. The reason why it's hard to start a business for black men is because they can't walk in a bank and get a loan. But they could if they fix their credit, right? White people were taught as kids to get their credit score right. How many black people were taught that as children about credit score? How many black people were taught as children about how to invest money instead of spending money? A lot of the black communities, let's say there's businessmen in the black communities, but those businessmen are drug dealers. Why? Because it's so much easier to just buy drugs, flip it, and sell it than it is to walk into a bank, get a loan, and try to start a business. That's the reality we live in. But the reality we live in is all human beings at one point, including the white Europeans, had nothing. Nothing. We all had dirt floors at one point. We all had nothing at one point. But now look, yes, the white man got ahead because the white man gained knowledge. The Europeans came over, took over the Native American land. They're on this whole takeover thing, and they have been since then, since before then. And now we're affected by this behavior because this is the country they built and we live in it, and we built their country with slavery and all this other shit, and now we're like, enough is enough. Yes, enough is enough, but mentally, lock me up in a prison, lock me up in a cell, and I bet everyone else will be in prison but me. Because you can lock my physical body up, but the mind is always free. As long as you know how to free your fucking mind. It's like, focus your time. How do we get young black men to have enough ambition to get their credit score right, to start a business, to stop selling drugs? How do we get, like, that is the question. I understand, yes, enough is enough. But what the fuck are we going to do now? I had my enough is enough moment in my actual physical life about 5 months ago. I said, fuck this, enough is enough. I'm getting a job even though I don't want one. I'm going to save money from this job. I'm going to invest. I'm going to relaunch my business. I'm going to do. No one has a gun to my head saying I need to do this. No one, anything. It is me. And I think it's up to the individual human being to realize that if you're a young black man who was held back by the system, who's treated shitty by cops, who's this and that, accept it. Because I guarantee it probably won't change before you die. That's the fucked up reality. The truth. You don't want to hear the truth? Oh well. The truth is, I don't care how loud you scream. I don't give a fuck how many protests there are, how many laws we change, how many whatever. Racism will be here for this exact reason. Because we're going to get rid of racism, right? And then some white people are not going to like us because we started the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And, we caused an issue. And think about this. If this was white people doing this, we would fucking have our panties up in a bunch. Everyone would be bugging out like, this is unfair. That's ridiculous. You guys have had it all the whole life. You don't know what it means. White privilege, all this other shit. Like, black people are becoming racist towards white people in a sense. It's the opposite of what has been. And a lot of black people are like, yeah, we've been put down, we've been suppressed forever, now it's about time they get suppressed. Yeah, but it's not helping the problem. It's not fixing anything. Like I said, I only see it this way because I'm black and white. If you are a mixed human being, then you really have nothing to do with this shit. Because Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, whatever the fuck, white and black lives won't even exist in like 500 years. Everyone will be mixed. Everyone is going to be mixed. 500 years, 1,000 years, regardless of how long it takes, everyone on this human planet will be mixed. We're humans. I'm not black. I'm human. I have melanin in my skin, but that doesn't make a difference. Like, it's this weird thing where we're back to left and right, black and white. It's this weird thing like Black Panthers, they had a motive. They had a direction. Equality was their direction. They were trying to be equal. They were trying to be equal with a peace vibe in a sense, right? And a power, yes, Black Panthers had power, but this movement is undirected. We need leaders in this movement to lead us correctly. So, like, you need leaders to, like, somehow get the bills so we can, whatever. We need leaders so we can somehow write new regulations for police. So police have to follow new regulations. So, therefore, that's how you solve these problems. You don't solve these problems by pissing off more police. Because what do you think any of this is doing? It's pissing off the cops. Do you think cops enjoy the fact that they have to be watched now and all this other shit and cameras and, all this other shit? Yeah, and cops treat black people like shit and they damn sure better fucking be put in their place. But in a sense, I don't know. I know the truth. They ain't gonna do shit. You think the police or our government gives a fuck how mad black people are getting? They don't give a fuck. They want to please us. So they're gonna give us what we want right now to please us, but really it's just so we could shut up for now. And if we want real, long-lasting change, we have to take this up to the Supreme Court. We have to take this up to our government. We have to make changes. We have to get certain people in power that we need in power. We need to speak when they tell us to shut up. We need to stand when they tell us to sit down. This is how we do it.